I'm going to quote Lennox Lewis here. He's talking about Tyson Fury's comeback. The headline reads, Lennox Lewis says, Tyson Fury winning would be a historic comeback. This is by the Daily Star. Lewis is quoted as saying, it'll be one of the greatest comebacks. It'll be part of history. People will look at him being written off to coming back. And I think that has motivated him. He wants to be champion again. And this is the perfect stage. It ranks as part of history. He wants to prove everybody wrong. He also talks about Joshua here. He says, I imagine the countdown is to Joshua. He is the man at the top. Someone always wants him. It is what happens when you are at the top. Goes on to say, when you box in the US, it depends on your mindset because it's just another fight anywhere in the world. Once you have a gut in front of you, I guess it means once you have a guy in front of you, the location doesn't matter. He should react the same way. The guy is trying to KO him, so he has to protect against that. I hope he is stable enough. There is a lot of pressure. He is taking it on and said he wants it. There can only be one winner, and that makes a recipe for a great fight. Fury has a big weight on his shoulders by boxing in another country, and he took that. Will the pressure get to him? It shouldn't, because he put himself in that, and he knows what he has to do. So those are the words of Lennox Lewis. I don't think the pressure is going to get to Fury. No, I don't think so. He's been to Germany, and that was a far more, how can I describe it? It was a situation that was tilted far more in favor of the home fighter than this situation is. Klitschko in Germany had every advantage. I mean, he got away with so much. It was unbelievable in Germany for so many years. I don't get that same sense in this. I mean, just for one, Klitschko used to put people on these so-called slave contracts. He was getting away with his slave contract business for ages, where he would make tens of millions and he's paying his opponents a couple of $100,000. And this is not the odd opponent here and there. This is on a regular basis. And what's worse than that, I remember when Klitschko defended his title one time against a mandatory challenger. And normally mandatory challengers get a set percentage. But for this particular mandatory, the sanctioning body agreed to pay the mandatory challenger less, like 5% less or 10% less than they would normally get. Outrageous stuff like that Klitschko was getting away with for so long. As well as a lot of indiscretions in the ring that he was getting away with for so long. The situation here between Wilder and Fury, I don't think it's like that. I think it is much more even in terms of the way the fighters will be treated. Don't get it twisted. Wilder's going to get preferential treatment here. Don't get that confused at all. But I don't think it's going to be as bad. I don't think there's going to be all the shenanigans to the level of what Tyson Fury experienced against Klitschko. There's going to be shenanigans, but not like there was with Klitschko. And because of that, because of the fact that Tyson Fury knows that, he's not going to go into this fight nervous or, apprehensive or anything like that. The only apprehension that there would be is within his own, as far as his own physical condition. That's where there might be some apprehension. You might be thinking, am I as sharp as I need to be? If Tyson Fury is 100%, then there's no way he goes into a Deontay Wilder fight nervous or concerned at all. Maybe that's a false confidence. Maybe he should be nervous and concerned. But I personally believe if he was as good as he was against Klitschko, if he was in the same place physically, I don't think he would be at all. He's going to have some nerves. Everybody has some nerves, but it's relative, right? I just don't think he would be especially concerned if he was definitely at 100%. So, I don't think the pressure's on him. I think the pressure's on Wilder because Wilder is now finally at this advanced stage of his championship reign, receiving a push from a major network. It's the first time Deontay Wilder's really been pushed in a big way by Showtime, putting him on pay-per-view, having him out doing these photo ops with the fire service and all this kind of stuff, having him on television here, there, and everywhere, international press tour. It's the first time. And they're expecting him to deliver. They want to recoup on all the money they've spent. This is an investment they're making in this guy. There's pressure on Deontay Wilder from the fans. He's supposed to be the number one in the division. He doesn't have an excuse to fall back on. Tyson Fury does. And a legitimate excuse too. This is a man coming back from what we know he's coming back from. If he loses, you can say, well, he should have taken more tune-up fights and maybe he would have won, depending on the manner of his loss. But if he loses in a tough fight, people are going to say, well, he could have won if he'd taken some tune-up fights and eased his way back into world-level competition. But with Deontay Wilder, if he loses, there is no excuse. You just lost to a guy who's not at his best, who's been out in the ring, drink and drug problems, depression, overweight, and you lost to him. And you're a long-reigning champion who's in shape. How could you lose to this guy? How could you let down your whole country, your network, so on and so forth? All the people who have been singing your praises, saying you're the number one in the division, saying that you destroyed Joshua and destroyed this one and that one. How could you let all those people down? There is an enormous amount of pressure on Deontay Wilder's shoulders right here, far more than there is on Fury's shoulders, in my opinion. And the most nervous I've ever seen Deontay Wilder was for the Eric Molina fight. And that was the first time that he'd fought as heavyweight champion in his hometown. Or in his home state. So he was full of, his hometown fans. And he was incredibly nervous against Eric Molina. That was noticeable from the ring walk, when he was in the ring, when they were given the pre-fight preliminaries. Wilder looked nervous as hell, and when the opening bell started, he looked nervous too. And that was one of his worst performances. Our nerves going to get to him here as well, because Tyson Fury is no Eric Molina. He is levels and levels and levels above that. Even this subpar, below par version of Tyson Fury is still way better than Molina. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about everything I've talked about in this video. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.